we go. Yo, yo, yo.
Oh,
The A team is with you here. This isn't the A show, but damn it, we're the A team. And we are here to break down another episode of the Monday Night Raw Rant Race live from Indianapolis, Indiana. And this show had its good moments and it had its bad moments and it had its weird moments. But this show felt slightly better than the last couple shows that we've gotten. And I am DLZ, and with me is Cheeto. And Cheeto, what did you think about the show?
I thought this show was par for the course. Yeah, I mean, some of the wrestling was good, but a lot of the booking decisions were, the same old bullshit Raw that we've gotten. And we'll get into it. I mean, we had 4 matches technically, but like one of them was a joke.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, not much to talk about there. Obviously, we'll get into our detailed talk in a bit.
But let's get to the news of the week. Apparently, according to I was watching listening to Solid Monster on YouTube, and he was saying that the WWE has no plans to have a draft this year so far. They're not planning on having a draft, which honestly I think is good and bad. It's good because it shows the WWE just doesn't take this shit seriously, and everybody shows up on every show anyway. So it doesn't really matter, but it's bad because continuity in this company just doesn't exist. I don't understand. It's like, if you have all these championships, why are you having Raw people contend for a SmackDown title and SmackDown people contending for a Raw title? I'm just confused by all this. So I
think the draft was always fun. It shook things up. It shook the roster up. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
And it split tag teams up that like if creatively you were kind of done with a tag team and you needed to split them up. I mean, that's a way to do it. I mean, you could have brought Alexa Bliss to Raw or Charlotte Flair to Raw, and you could have split that tag team because that tag team's kind of run its course.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously Rhea and Io has run its course because now they're not split, but they're not focused on tag team right now.
Yeah, it's kind of like we broke, and we're going to get into that. It's kind of like we broke up, but we didn't break up, but we're going to kind of call it like we did. And the point that you wanted to bring up, Jade Cargill, what is going on?
Apparently, Jade Cargill has a lot of backstage heat with other wrestlers. Now, maybe not with creative. I'm pretty sure Triple H is pretty high on Jade Cargill, but a lot of the wrestlers backstage have take umbrage with Jade Cargill, and apparently she takes a lot of vacations, and she doesn't, like she kind of has this prissy mentality to her where she's, I'm the champion and I don't have to do anything, and it's just kind of like, yeah, you don't want to bite the bowl that holds you, because you may not be the hand that feeds you, but you are the bowl that. It is the bowl that holds you.
Yeah, and that queen, I'm the queen, kiss of death. That's a kiss of death mentality right there. When you're like, oh, I can go where I want, when I want, and do what I want. No, there's a roster full of women that depend on you to actually show up to work, and you actually have to do things. Just because you're the world champion doesn't entitle you to take breaks whenever you want, unless you've actually earned the right to do that. Hello, Rocky and others. But Jade Cargill, you are not there yet, boo-boo. And the last thing I wanted to point up, even though I know we're not reviewing SmackDown, continuity doesn't exist. Cody Rhodes said that if he couldn't beat Drew McIntyre, he'll never challenge for the title again. This Friday, he's challenging for the title. Well, as long as Drew's champion. You know how they do that trope.
Yeah, well, no, but that's what I mean. Like, that's what they did last time. Yep. Last time they did a, like, I think it was Drew. Oh yeah, it was the clause in his contract. As long as Drew was champion, Cody could not challenge for the title again. Like, that was in the clause of that 3 stages of hell match. So I'm trying to figure out how Cody got another shot here. That's why I think Cody is going to win on Friday, and I'm not for it at all.
Yes, I am championing for Cody to lose this match, and I know they're going to probably try to make this a multi-man match. Cody doesn't need the title till the end of the summer. If you want to wait and put it back on him by SummerSlam, do what you do, but we don't want it now. I don't want Drew McIntyre jobbing to Cody this Friday on SmackDown, despite the fact that he said, oh, if Drew is champion, I'll never challenge him again as long as he's champion. Yeah, continuity doesn't exist. It goes to show the ratings are going down, which is why they're doing this, because usually when the ratings go down, they panic and they have to put on a big title match to get people to watch. And yet, here we are. Please don't give it to Cody. That's all I got to say. And I think that pretty much covers our news for the
The
week.
only other thing that I actually want to bring up, and I forgot to
Mhm.
mention this in pre-show, sorry,
You're good.
was what WWE has no plans for Powerhouse Hobbs. And I'm
No,
not
they
calling
don't.
him, what is it, Royce Keys
Royce
or whatever?
Keys.
Yeah, no, they have no plans for Powerhouse Hobbs. Tell us you have no idea what to do with great black talent without telling us that you don't know what to do with great black talent. Because, like, what are they doing with him? They brought him out at the Rumble to a huge pop, and then
hmm
he disappeared. He has been off TV for what, going on 6 weeks now? When was
Yeah.
the Rumble? It was at the end of January, right?
End of January. Yep.
So we're going on 5-6 weeks right now without any Powerhouse Hobbs. He's supposed to be on SmackDown. I don't know why they keep putting Obafemi on both Raw and SmackDown when Powerhouse Hobbs could be filling that role on SmackDown right now, and then Obafemi could be filling that role on Raw. You know what I mean? Like, I get it that they're both very similar, but why debut them then, you know, at the Rumble if they're not going to use them? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it just
Right.
it makes no sense to me. Or you know, I think Powerhouse Hobbs should have been in the crate, honestly. But I mean,
Yeah, but what can you do? I agree. I think Powerhouse Hobbs, they've been putting him over and they've been trying to put over Stephanie's podcast. And I'm like, okay, we get it. Oba had or not Oba, but Powerhouse had like a hard life, this, that, and the other. You know, they're clearly going to have this guy be a babyface when he shows up because, you know, based on his life story and all that kind of stuff. But you need to start doing something with him. Don't do the thing where you're going to make him wait till the Raw after WrestleMania. You have him now, use him. You know, have him show up, have him do a couple squash matches just to say, hey, I'm here. I'm a powerhouse. This is what I do. And yeah, and with Oba, we'll get into Oba. I like what they're doing with Oba this week. I like how they're taking the direction with him, but I will elaborate on that when it is time.
all right.
Okay.
And now I think it is time.
Yeah, it is time. We were live from Indianapolis, Indiana. As I said, we don't even get the pyro and ballyhoo. We get the Vision coming out. And Paul Heyman is all like, oh, I can't stand Seth Rollins. You know, this guy, he was never that good in the Shield. He was never that good in the Vision. And the next time that we see Seth Rollins, we're going to kick his ass. And then they do the masked man trait where it's like 3 different masked guys. It's people from Seth's school, obviously, that are under the mask. And Austin Theory and Logan Paul, respectively, chase 2 of the masked guys out. Chair to the back by Rollins on Paul Heyman, and then the curb stomp. Paul Heyman ends up with a bloody nose, and then Jimmy Uso takes out the Vision, and LA Knight is in the ambulance to haul Paul Heyman off away. This was, you know, a slightly different segment, but more the same formulaic promo at the same time. It really is just not working for me. It just feels very formulaic.
Well, it also was a little bit more high octane though, because a lot of times you have the Vision come out, you have them talk for 20 minutes. It's like it actually was a little bit more high octane, where it's like, you know, you had a little bit more going on. You've got less people in the Vision who can talk now. I mean, we've talked about it for weeks. Is that, you know, they just need to dissolve the Vision and then have Theory and Logan Paul as a tag team, go after the Usos. I saw somebody saying online that this might be a way that they're writing Paul Heyman off television indefinitely.
I could see that, because I'm going to be real. I love Paul, but that man's been run to death. I mean, he's been run to death really since the
He's got to
bloodline
disappear
way
for
back.
a little bit for us to yearn for him to be back.
Yeah.
I just don't know why they wouldn't do it like until after WrestleMania. You know, like you need all of your big players.
And if they're going to write Paul Heyman off now, then I wonder if it's like you said. I think maybe this is the way they kind of quote unquote break the Vision up, maybe, possibly, but without really breaking up Logan Paul and Austin Theory, because I do think that they are going to be a tag team. I think both guys can be good in singles. As much as I can't stand Logan Paul, I will give the man his due. He's a hell of a wrestler. He's a hell of a, you know, guy on the mic, even though I can't stand him personally. But we'll see what they do with them in the tag division if it's going to be so. But overall, I thought while the promo was formulaic, the segment did have a little bit of difference to it, with Jimmy Uso and LA Knight taking the Vision out and taking out Paul Heyman.
I thought it was going to lead to a tag team main event, player.
I thought that too. And then this was actually really surprising. Gunther and Dragon Lee actually got to go out and have a pretty good physical back and forth kind of match. I thought that Dragon Lee showed up doing what he needed to do, and Gunther got the win by putting the sleeper and taking off Dragon Lee's mask. I don't know if they're going to run it back, but I wouldn't be mad if they do. I think that it was a really good match. Both guys got a lot of good offense in, but Gunther ultimately gets the win.
So here's my thing about and then great it is. It's a great match and it showcases why Dragon Lee honestly a lot of the mid-carders on Raw are actually really good. I mean, you have a lot of luchadors on Raw, which is crazy to think about because SmackDown was always a luchador show back in the Ruthless Aggression / Attitude Era. Not maybe not Attitude Era, but and even the PG era, but like I really feel like SmackDown is like really doing a good job with the US title now. I really feel like Raw needs to take and now that, well, spoiler alert, the Intercontinental titles off of Dom, I really feel like they need to kind of have the same format. Maybe not an open challenge format, but just have good matches with those mid-card titles. Just be like, hey, guess what? This week, Penta is defending against Dragon Lee. Have face versus face. Have good matches. It doesn't have to be face versus heel and all that. I really feel like they put way too much into the mid card titles story wise. When honest and truly, it doesn't need to be that way. Like we want this. The mid card is the workhorse, and we need to see the good matches.
And that's what we want, and that's what the Intercontinental and U.S. title for both men's and women's division needs to be. So
they're trying to push storylines on some of these mid-card titles, and I'm like, why? Like, I love the open challenge because it's like I don't need stories. They're starting to creep a story in between Dragunov and Carmelo Hayes, and I'm like, no, don't do that. Like, no, I don't need that. I want Carmelo to come out, and it doesn't have to be every week, but like, yes, when he comes out, he defends that title, and I don't need 1 week, 2 week, 3 week build up to that title unless it's a pay-per-view match. Now, if it's a pay-per-view match, then you can do that. But like this weekly title defense and stuff like that, like, no, I don't need any story for that. Just give me banger matches, which the US title has. We need that in the Intercontinental title. You're right, in men's and women's right now. We're not going to get that in the Intercontinental women's division. You know that.
No.
We'll get into that later.
And that's a good. Actually, I think that comes up next. According to the highlights that I got, AJ Lee's promo. She comes out and she's like, here's the deal. Becky is behind me, which, let's be real, no, she isn't, because you guys are going to run this back for WrestleMania, because she's going to come out the very next week on Monday Night Raw and be like, what the fuck? I was cheated. That referee, she screwed me. I want my title back. But AJ Lee comes out and cuts the same promo pretty much as her husband. I want to be a fighting champion. Yep. I want to be a fighting champion. I want to, take on this and that. And next week they are doing a gauntlet match, which I know Raquel's in it, but I don't know who all else is in it.
Io Sky, Raquel, Lyra, Bailey, and Asuka, I think.
Okay. Yeah. So,
but here's my thing about that is like, again, this is the problem. You've got a part-timer holding a mid-card workhorse belt. It's not. I mean, at least Becky was there every week. You know what I mean? Like I complained about Becky just because I thought she was too, like her star was too high for the Intercontinental title. Now it's like, okay, AJ, her star is too big for the Intercontinental title, but also she's only there like normally. Now on the road to WrestleMania, obviously they're probably going to have her there every week. Fine, fair enough. But like, she's not going to, like, after WrestleMania, she's not going to be there weekly.
No, the week after WrestleMania, she's going right back in Chicago, and she's just going to go chill out.
So that belt needs to be taken off of her. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry, like and I don't want Becky to take it back. I want Becky to screw AJ out of the title, and then it just be a grudge match at WrestleMania between those two. Give the title. Oh, Ivy Nile is another one that's in that match. Give the belt to a mid-carder who can use it.
Yep.
And Maxine Dupree, I think that ship has sailed. They need to put it in somebody else.
Yeah, it's over. I wouldn't be upset if it's Ivy Nile. Hell, I wouldn't be mad if like we transition to it being Asuka versus Kairi Sane, because that's another backstage segment that before AJ came out, Kairi was looking like a nervous freaking wreck, and Asuka sitting there yelling at her. And I'm like, you know what? If you're going to book the women's Intercontinental title, put it on one of these two and let them go to work. Do you think Asuka's too far above that one too? Again, I don't mind like
bigger superstars getting the title, but the women's intercontinental title has only been held by, with the exception of Lyra, only been held by big stars.
Yeah. Oh,
Like,
God.
well, I don't even count Maxine Dupree's couple week reign, because it's just like
No.
it barely existed.
Yeah. I think that what you need to do with Asuka and Kyrie, you could maybe make it a women's intercontinental thing, because you also have to remember it's been a long fucking time since Asuka's got that belt. It's been a long time since Asuka was in the main event. So it's one of those things where it's like, honestly, I wouldn't be too upset if they gave the intercontinental title to Asuka.
It's better
Just to
than
put it
putting
on
it on
Kyrie.
Becky Lynch, because
Yeah.
I definitely will say that Asuka, like, I didn't watch WWE. Like, I took a break from WWE for several years. That was during Asuka's heyday, like when she was like at the top of the mountain.
Yeah.
So I mean, I guess her going back down to the mid card makes sense, especially because she's been in the tag division so long. You know, it's kind of like Jey Uso. It's like, yeah, just because he won the world title doesn't mean that's where he's at now.
Yep.
But like, no, Becky Lynch and AJ Lee are too big for that title, even currently.
Oh. Okay.
What?
Did we lose Cheeto?
No.
Oh, there you go. You were kind of frozen there on my connection for a second.
Anyway, I was just rambling about the mid card again. It's okay.
Yep.
We can move on.
All right. And then before we get into the next matchup, Liv Morgan cut a pre-tape promo being like, Stephanie, I'm going to win the women's world title at WrestleMania. It came off to me as very like Harleen Quinzel-esque and really crazy and really psychotic. I loved it. That was a really good promo by Liv Morgan. And we're going to see what they do. I want them to go with what I want, which is Liv wins, just to go ahead and have Raquel turn on her the next day after WrestleMania and win the women's title. But that's just me. All right. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, good segment. Yeah. I mean, just shows why Liv should be at the top of the mountain, which she is. I mean, she's won the Rumble. She's heading for the world title. Like, this segment right here shows exactly why she is where she is.
Yes. And then, okay, the joke that's gone on way too long. The original El Grande Americano versus Rayo. This is clearly a AAA angle that's like gone into WWE because WWE owns AAA. I just want Chad Gable and Ludwig Kaiser back, please. I mean, the joke, to me, it's not funny anymore. It was funny when you did it. It was funny at the Rumble when you brought them back, but now I'm kind of over this. I want it to be a mass versus match. El Grande Americano and Rayo. Okay. Did we lose our connection? I think we did.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay.
And it looks like we're still rolling. So, okay, I'll just kind of repeat what I said. I said that I want the Chad Gable and Ludwig Kaiser angle to just finish up in AAA. We wrap it up in AAA because the joke's not funny anymore. And I want this to get off of Monday Night Raw because I just want Chad Gable and Ludwig Kaiser back, respectively. I'm over the mask luchador gimmick and who's behind the mask. But the match itself, okay, it was just okay nonetheless.
I agree. It's run its course. It's done. Like I don't know why they're even doing this. Anyway, like I get why they're doing it in AAA because apparently like Ludwig Kaiser's Americano is like super over in Japan or in Mexico.
Yeah.
And then like Chad Gable is actually the heel in Mexico, and where it's vice versa up here in America. Keep it in AAA. Like let Ludwig Kaiser's Americano be the guy and be the face down there. And I don't know why we have this here. Again, I think it's kind of annoying, but whatever.
Yep. And then this ruled. Rusev comes out and he's like, all right, all I've heard is Oba. I'm sick of this motherfucker. I want to fight him. And this served its purpose. I loved it. Oba came out doing a strut. He's like, this motherfucker's about to die. And they start throwing hands. And I'm like, you know what? WWE needs to do more stuff like this. And have these big dudes go out there and start throwing hands. Have them fight. Next week they're going to have a match, and I don't want Rusev getting squashed because I'm still champion for Rusev to be somebody someday. I want Rusev and Oba to just go out and go have a good old fashioned fight and tear the house down next week. And next week we're getting that. But this segment was very, very good.
But that's why it's like, don't overcomplicate storylines. Like
Yep.
this is why I'm saying it's like Rusev, like this was perfect storytelling for for these two characters. It's like
Yep.
Rusev doesn't like how much attention Oba's getting. Oba doesn't like Rusev stepping up on him. Boom, match. Hey,
Yeah.
we got it. You know,
Yep.
we have a story.
And what you need to do next week, give them 10 minutes. I don't want Oba being this powerhouse just squashing
Give him
motherfuckers.
15, man. Like,
Yeah.
kind of remember Rusev and Sheamus's match last
Let
year?
him go
Like,
to work. Yeah,
let him work because Oba
Yeah.
can work. From what I've seen, Oba can actually work.
Yeah.
They're actually underutilizing him if he's in a squash match. There was a match on Main Event a couple weeks ago, and I can't remember who Oba faced, but they actually put a good match on, and it was a good like 7-minute match or 5-minute match or something. But like Oba can actually go in the ring. He doesn't have like Goldberg like squash people because like he didn't know anything else, you know, at least in the beginning. In the beginning, that's all he knew was squashing people, spear, jackhammer, pin. You know, but like but like Oba, it's like Oba can go. He's been going for a long time in NXT, you know. So I think they should really lean into it.
I say lean into it, and I say, like you said, I agree. 15 minutes, and they need to work. They need to just go out there. Rusev needs to put this dude in the accolade, and Oba just overpowers that, and then hits Rusev with the falls from grace after a banger match. He gets the win, and what he does afterwards, he needs to look in the camera and go, "Hey, Brock, I'm waiting," and that's it. That's it. You don't do nothing else. All right, and then going back to the ladies, Lyra Valkyria, is like, "Oh, Bailey, I can't watch you get left off of WrestleMania again." And this is where the breakdown of Io Sky continues. They're all like, "Oh, we got to all go talk to Pierce," which sets up this gauntlet match. And we just want somebody new. We don't want Becky AJ at WrestleMania. You did it. Don't run it back. We don't need it. Let's move on from that.
As I said, I don't even mind the match at WrestleMania. Just don't make it for the IC title. Like,
yeah,
do this. They should do a 6-man, like not battle royal, like elimination match. Between with all the women, with all these mid card women, and just do the women's IC title as like a six-way dance.
Yep. And then this one here, this was kind of, I would call it one of the low points of the night, if not the low point. Jimmy Uso versus Austin Theory. It was just your typical match that ends in a DQ, and then Uso comes out to make the save. Nothing special. It's just probably going to go ahead and get out to WrestleMania. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say there was actually something far more egregious in this match than even the match.
What was it?
Tell me that your tag titles don't matter without telling me your tag titles don't matter. Jimmy Uso could not even wear his tag title out to the ring. He didn't even have it. Like, you're just your tag title. What'd you do? Leave it at the airport? You leave it in the refrigerator with AJ's IC title? Like, like what? You're one half of the world tag team champions. I'm sorry, tag belts mean something. Just like mid-card belts mean something. But when you come out for a match and you're not wearing your belt, that it tells me that you don't give two shits about those belts. And that's why I hate the Usos being back in the tag division because I'm sorry. Like, I'm glad they're a tag team, but it's like they had their time in the tag division. Obviously, they don't care about those tag belts. Give the tag belts to somebody who gives a shit about them.
Yeah, I agree. Because, like, I noticed that too. He just can't. You could even tell too that he just had that "I don't even want to be here" look on his face. Like when he was coming out to the ring, he had that look like "I don't want to be here."
Well, even if this is setting up a tag team match at WrestleMania between
Division
Paul
and these guys,
yeah, with the versus the Usos for the tag titles, why wouldn't you have him wearing the tag title? Like to kind of put that in the forefront of people's minds. Oh yeah, Jimmy Uso's a tag champ. So if Austin Theory and Jimmy are going at it, they may be going after the title. You know what I mean? Like it just oh man, like the WWE can never get, like, they either get banger with the tag division, or it sucks so completely bad, and most times it sucks. Like
Yeah.
it's like with the women's tag division, it was banger for months and months and months and months and months. And like I'm actually glad that I call them the Sisters of Destruction.
They won. Yeah, me too.
But
I'm happy that they won
Nia
it.
Jackson, Lashley, I'm glad they have the belts because look, I like Rhea and Io, but like those are too big of names to be hogging the tag titles for too long.
Yeah, and speaking of, okay, good segue, man. Rhea
I'm
Ripley
doing my
comes out and
best.
Rhea Ripley comes out and cuts a promo with Kyrie, and she's like, Kyrie, thank you for everything you did. You've been a partner, you've been an opponent, you're my best friend. I love you. This is the kind of breakups that need to happen more often. It needs to be like, yo, we need to just amicably go. We don't need people turning on each other all the time. And
Well,
this was a good segment.
and this sets up for Io to go after the Intercontinental title.
Yeah. So it accomplishes two things in one. And what I loved is at the end, Rhea comes out and she's like, come here. All right, motherfucker, look, Jade, I'm about to whoop your ass and take that belt from you at WrestleMania. The shit talking will be better than the match itself. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you right now.
Well, that's
Rhea
going to
will be
be
the
Punk
one
and
that,
Roman too. Like both,
Yeah.
like that. We'll get to into that promo later, but yeah, like I see the Rhea and Cargill match being about the same as the Punk and Reigns match. Just like really good promos, but like not much in the match is probably going to underdeliver. Let's be real.
Yeah, I agree. And then your main event match of the night.
You did forget the one thing you did forget is Raw's new R-Truth.
Oh yeah, well, okay. I guess we could talk about it because yeah. All right, so before the main event match happens, Danhausen is backstage with Cold Stone Austin, which I cracked up at that. Like Danhausen does have his moments. He called him Cold Stone Austin, and Pierce was like, "What the fuck is this?" And then he's like, "Hey guys, come here, meet Danhausen," and he just goes away because Adam Pierce is like, "I need a drink," and then he's like, "Ooh, can I have your Intercontinental title? Can I have this?" And after Pierce looks over like the list of demands, Danhausen wants a Hall of Fame induction. He wants action figures. He wants this. He wants that.
He wants a blimp.
He wants a blimp.
His face on the trailers and one of the finger photos with Triple H.
Yeah, he wants the Triple H point. So, yeah, Danhausen, he's going to be mostly backstage. I can't really see him wrestling.
He's going to be Raw's R-Truth. And then eventually
Basically.
when R-Truth finally does retire, like Danhausen will probably take that spot.
Yeah.
He's like, because like there was Santino Marella, then there was R-Truth, and now there's going to be Danhausen. Like, so I think Danhausen is now starting his very long career in the WWE like R-Truth. But he's never going to make much of himself. He's just going to be a comedic character.
And it works. It works because you got to have comedy in wrestling. So I'm like, okay, I think Danhausen personally will still be jobbing 100%. He's going to be jobbing. He'll get a couple big wins here and there, but he's going to be a jobber. Let's just be real. Like most hardcore fans, they don't even really care about Danhausen. They'll be like, oh, okay, cool. He's funny, but he'll never be a big time player. But getting into Penta versus Dominic Mysterio, this was actually a really good match, and I'm surprised that it took them this fucking long to finally put the IC title on Penta, but they did it. And
they should have put it on him when Dominic went down with the injury. I'm sorry. Sorry. Like, how long did the IC title just sit like on Rey Mysterio's waist? Mm-hmm. And like, this is his first title defense since losing it or getting it back from John Cena in November. The first. Which one's more egregious? Jade Cargill's, like, what was it? Like almost 100 and some days of not defending the WWE women's title, or Dominic Mysterio's like 4 months of not defending the IC title?
It's going to be Dominic Mysterio easily because the Intercontinental title, it needs to mean something. I mean, the Intercontinental title, like I remember even WWE's like, oh yeah, this needs to go back to being a workhorse title. The last time that it was when Gunther had it, and that was years ago. And now it's just
with the workhorse title, the problem with Gunther being the IC champion for so long, and don't get me wrong, Gunther is fantastic, but like it wasn't the workhorse title only because he had the belt for way too long. Like when you have a workhorse title, like the US title, the Intercontinental title, it needs to change hands every once in a while. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You need to get your mid-carders over. The belt elevates those mid-carders.
Yeah, it needs to be at least every 3 months minimum. You need to have the title change hands every 3 months. You could maybe get away with a 4-month title reign if the guy is really good with that title. But yeah, Penta finally wins it in a really good match. I don't necessarily know if I want the Intercontinental title to be the open challenge
No.
belt, but I do want weekly defenses. It needs to have that. It needs to be like, okay, I'm not issuing an open challenge, but I am out here to be a fighting champion for the first, couple weeks I have this belt. I'm going to go out and I'm going to go have a great match with Dragon Lee. I'm going to go have a great match with LA Knight, just to name a couple names. So
Because that's what they think of LA Knight at this point. You might as well
they
put him in
do.
the mid card.
Yeah, he's never going to main event. I just don't see it. LA Knight's another one that's done. But Penta finally got his moment. Congratulations. He should have got it back then a few months ago when Dom got hurt. Hell, he could have even got it after he debuted a couple years ago, but it is what it is. But this was a really good match. And also to kind of talk about it, the Judgment Day is clearly breaking up because Finn Balor is going babyface. He's like, Dominic said he wanted to do it by himself, JD. Don't get the ring hammer. And that was how Penta won the Intercontinental title, was he takes the Judgment Day out, hits the Penta driver on Dominic Mysterio. 1, 2, 3. Penta's your new Intercontinental champion. I would not be surprised if this leads to a handicap match down the road on Raw or at WrestleMania. Finn Balor versus the Judgment Day, and we go from there.
So,
all right. And finally, the main event segment of the night. The OTC comes out. Indianapolis, acknowledge me. And before he could even get into his shit, here comes CM Punk on the mic. And he's like, look, motherfucker, we got history up here. You debuted here. I brought you in here. And Roman's like, wait a minute, motherfucker. No, you didn't. I made me. You didn't do shit. And the OTC hits him back with like, I brought you back to appeal to the 30 to 40-year-old virgins living in their parents' basement. And I thought that was pretty funny considering that Smarks is what CM Punk primarily, that's his fan base. Smarks loves CM Punk for some reason. And then Reigns takes a shot at him, claiming that Punk was miserable backstage and that as people rushed to tell him about it, he promised to beat Punk, take the title back, give him a John Cena retirement tour, and then send him down to NXT to get ready. And the funny thing is, I could actually see all of that happening. It may not be this year, but I could see like when CM Punk gets ready to wrap it up, he will go on a John Cena retirement tour. And the best in the world wraps it up with a furious retort talking about, yo, you don't have the bloodline. You don't have the shield. But what I'm going to do is at WrestleMania, I'm going to bury you. And after that, you won't be alone anymore because I'm going to bury you right next to your dead father. And the mic dropped. And if you look really closely, Roman Reigns, they zoom in on him and he's like, did this motherfucker really just say that to me? And that was perfect. This is what I'm talking about. The mic work will carry this feud. Yes, next week, they both need to start wrestling. It can't just be mic work, mic work, mic work. CM Punk needs to go out there, have good matches going into WrestleMania. Roman Reigns needs to do the same damn thing, go out and have good matches going into WrestleMania. And for the love of God, stick with my idea here, WWE. These two cannot touch until the Raw before WrestleMania. Don't do it.
They just need to do, Reigns needs to get in the ring. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying a squash match, but like have him face Kofi Kingston. You know what I mean? Like, have him because, right now Xavier Woods is on the shelf. Isn't it crazy how many people are injured right now?
Yeah.
Have Xavier, have him face Kofi Kingston, former WWE champion, might I add. And I'm not saying do a squash match with Roman Reigns. I'm saying just a legitimate match. Like Roman needs to get in the ring. We need to see these guys. CM Punk was just in the ring at Elimination Chamber. So next week, Reigns needs to be in the ring. Then you wait a week. They maybe cut another promo that week. Then the following week, CM Punk is in the ring. And he's doing, and not defending the title. It could be a tag match. It could be just a singles match where somebody pisses him off. And CM Punk's like, you know what? Tonight, you and me tonight. No non-title, I don't know. But these guys need to, like, this is why I hate these 4-match formats. Like, it's so, like, it just, it degrades the whole product, in my opinion.
Right. And it feels constricting too because it's like you only have like a 2 hour window for whatever reason. You got like a 2 hour, 15-minute window this week. Last week they had it be 2 hours and 35 minutes. And then next week it'll probably be more of the same. So it's like, yeah, this
Well, it's just
format's
they have to
format.
make time for all their ads, and that's the
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah. The adverts is what kills me. Luckily, I did find out you could fast forward through the ads if you watch the shit the day after. So that is the reason that I watch this shit the day after because now I
I
can,
fast forward through the ads. Well, I
yeah.
started about an hour after the show starts. Usually, I usually start. It starts at 8 my time, and I normally start watching it right around 9ish, and I
Yeah.
can usually fast forward through the ads.
Yeah, that's probably how I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to do that next week where I'm going to watch Raw on an hour delay and just not care what I miss. Um,
And I skip
but
some
yeah,
entrances, and I skip some
yep,
some segments. Like I try to get all the interview segments and stuff, but like I don't know. So I skip a lot of the BS stuff.
yeah, a lot of the filler. But what'd you think about the promo before we go?
Oh yeah, I mean these two can definitely cook. I mean CM
Hmm.
Punk and Roman Reigns are gold on the mic, especially together. I think that they do a really good job. You know, one thing I want to bring up, and this is totally off base. I just happened to think of it.
Mm.
What happened to Nikki Bella, or what happened to the Bellas challenging for the tag titles? Where
I
did
know,
they
yeah,
go?
yeah, because they were like, yeah, we're back, and then it's like, are you? Because you guys have been off TV for what, like almost a month now?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm like, I
actually,
mean, at
yeah,
least
over a month.
even if they're not going for the title right now, like get them in a match. Why? Why are we getting all of these like promos of promises of people coming back, and it's like crickets? You know, like it's Powerhouse Hobbs, the Bellas. Like they say all these things like I'm back, I'm doing this, I'm and then it's like crickets. We get nothing. It's so crazy. I don't know who is booking this crap, but it's like this has got, you know, I mean, even
Yeah,
put the Bellas on main event for fuck's sake. Like
yeah.
God.
Continuity, man, continuity. It's like, yeah, they can't grab their ass to both hands. And then Heyman, he was on an interview talking about it would be easier for us to book for Saudi Mania now than book for Vegas Mania. And I'm like, you guys are going to be, trying to fill as much as you can. What I hate about this 2 night format is we have to get everybody on the fucking card. And most of these matches, a lot of people aren't going to give a shit about. The most that people will give a shit about is maybe 5 to 6 matches. We don't need 15 matches over 2 nights. I'm sorry, we don't.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. WrestleMania has been one of those things now where it's like everybody has to get on the show because it's WrestleMania, and it's like,
Hmm.
no, you kind of need to earn your spot on WrestleMania. You need to kind of get over to be on Mania. You know what I mean?
Even AJ Styles has said that Mania's lost his luster, and when he's telling you that, you got a problem.
Yep,
I mean,
I agree.
here's what I'm going to predict. Night one will be better than night two because night one is usually the better night of WrestleMania, and then night two, you could tell they hurry up and try to finish it. They're like, all right, let's get this over with. And the only match that's going to feel really important on night two is most likely Reigns and Punk. That's it. But overall, I am still kind of not looking forward to WrestleMania, and we have 6 more Raws to go before this is done. WWE's got to really shape it up, man. You guys need to start hitting with all cylinders and saying, okay, we need to really try to get the ESPN subscriptions up because ESPN, word is, they're not happy right now. They are not happy with WWE
Why
because
why
they're,
why would I buy why would I pay for an ESPN subscription
yeah,
when it's
why would
cheaper to
we?
pay for a VPN?
Yeah, for real.
Sponsored
Hmm.
by Proton VPN.
VPN. Yeah. But yeah, for real, you need to up subscriptions. You need to get people subbed to Netflix. You need to get people subbed to ESPN, even though I don't know why you'd waste $30. But yeah, WWE, you guys have got to really start bringing it. And before we go, I'd like to go ahead and say, finally, fucking finally, WWE did the right thing by putting Axe and motherfucking Smash from Demolition in the Hall of Fame. It is about damn time that they are going in. I am very happy for them. And that's pretty much my thoughts on that as far as the Hall of Fame go.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, AJ Styles deserves to be in there. Demolition deserves to be in there. Stephanie McMahon deserves to be in there, but she just doesn't deserve to headline. You know what I mean?
No,
Like she needs she should not be headlining
yeah, she's
a Hall of
headlining.
Fame.
She's headlining this year's class that did come out, and I'm like, okay, have AJ go first. Have AJ go first, and then I can go to bed because that's pretty much what I'm going to do. I'm going to watch the Hall of Fame, and then I'm going to sleep.
How
So
many
that'll
is it?
be.
Is it normally 5? Is it like 4 people and then a tag team?
It's usually like I think a tag team, a woman, a recent retiree, and a deceased person. So I don't know who the deceased person is going to be because I know that I'm trying to think like who else they could put in there
Is
as
Macho Man in
far.
there?
Yeah, he's in there.
Is he? Okay. I never thought Vince McMahon would actually put him in there.
China might be maybe the one that goes in because China
Wow.
hasn't gone in. China
China's
hasn't
not
had a
gone in?
solo. She has his DX, but not for a solo induction, which she should totally get a solo
Yeah, I was about
induction.
to say, man, that China deserves to be in there as a solo induction. Faux
Mm-hmm.
show.
Yep.
I gotta go back and look at the Hall of Fame list. I haven't looked at it in
I,
years.
I do too. I need to see who's in it because I'm like, I like to kind of watch the Hall of Fame because it kind of, reminds you of yesteryear. It's good to see people that are still here,
It's good to
get their
honor
flowers and
those.
all.
It's good to honor those wrestlers that we love so much. Yes, the Hall of Fame is not is just as prestigious as the Golden Glasses. These awards and stuff like that are all fake. They're made up. It's a circle jerk by WWE, but
Yep.
it's like, you know what? Like, it's still we can still honor our favorite wrestlers with the accolade of hey, you are enshrined in a place in our heart.
Yep. And that's a good way to look at it. And, I'm just glad that Demolition finally got their due because I know people have been begging for years. I know people are still going to say, oh, they need to induct Owen in the Hall of Fame. Owen will not go in the Hall of Fame. Martha will not allow that to happen.
I'd say
And for good
maybe
reasons.
if something happens to Martha,
Maybe.
maybe one of the hearts will let it happen, but I doubt it'll. While Martha's alive, I doubt it'll ever happen.
The only way I could see it is if they induct the entire Hart Foundation stable. That's it. That's the
Well,
only
and I
way I
mean, if you
see
think
Owen
about it,
going
with
in.
Vince McMahon gone, I don't remember. Was Martha's issue with the WWE in general, or just Vince McMahon?
I think WWE in general. So if it's
Okay,
that case, yes, he won't go in. Owen
yeah,
won't make
no,
it.
which is sad because again, he deserves the accolades. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Like, I get it. You don't like the WWE, but you know what? There are so many millions upon millions of fans that loved Owen and would love to see him in there. Um, it's
Yeah.
just sad. It's just sad that as again, it's a circle jerk thing, but it's just like as fans, we would love to just be able to say Owen's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. That's all we want is just to say, even if you could put him in the video games again, I'd be happy. Even though I'm not going to buy the 2K video games now with them going live service and them doing paid tier skips and all that other shit. But back in the day, it would have been cool to get Owen in a video game. And now
Yeah.
we never will. But overall, for this week's Raw, it was just all right. Another run of the mill Raw. Next week, I expect it to be more of the same. I expect CM Punk to probably be the one wrestling next week, even though personally it should be Roman Reigns. Brock Lesnar will be back next week to talk more shit about the open challenge. If I am Oba Femi and Rusev, I'm having Oba win in a competitive match, and then he looks at the camera and goes, "Hey Brock, let's go." And that's pretty much all I want for
Or
next
just
week's Raw.
at the end of the match, like after Oba beats Brock, or after Oba beats Rusev, Brock
Yep.
Lesnar comes out.
Yeah.
Like Brock Lesnar comes out for his promo,
Mm-hmm.
and then as Oba's walking back, they do the whole like, just like the
Yep.
slow drive by side eye thing, where it's like, and if they do that, since Brock's going to be there and Oba's going to be in a match, like if they do that, we know it's going to be Oba and Brock.
Yeah.
And my only problem with that is that Brock's not going over. Brock is not going to put Oba over. He's not.
Yeah, I'm still gonna predict Oba just because I love Oba. I love
Well, I
Oba,
want
man.
Oba to win too. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
I want
yeah.
I want
I
Oba
want
to
Oba to
win a
win.
million times over
I'm
Brock.
gonna predict Brock, but yeah, Brock. I mean, I know Zam is a hard on for Brock, but it's like, bro, Zam, bro, dude, Brock has refused to play ball plenty of times, man.
It's
Plenty of
really funny
times.
because Brock Lesnar's been involved in some scandalous things that Zam would not be on
Yeah.
board with. So it's
Yep.
really funny that he actually likes Brock Lesnar, and I'm like, you realize that he's been mentioned in the Janelle Grant stuff, like
Mm-hmm.
and the Janelle Grant stuff is kind of like the Epstein list of the wrestling world almost.
Yeah,
So
and it's still kind of ongoing, so I don't know. I'm like,
well, I don't know, but still, you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of weird, but okay.
yeah. But overall, this week's Raw was just all right, and we'll see you guys more for next week. I am DOZ. With me is Cheeto. Is there anything you'd like to plug before we shut this down?
Nah. I mean, we're doing SmackDown. We're doing Trek on Thursday. I think that's really it. I don't think we have anything else really going on right now. It's so dead right now. That's honestly why we're doing wrestling stuff, is because there's just nothing out right now.
Yeah, there's nothing to really talk about. And then soon enough, after these next 6 episodes, things are going to change, but we will get on to that as we get closer. I am DOZ. With me is Cheeto. We'd like to thank you guys for watching. Like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. We read your comments and all that. Thank you guys for watching. Like, share, subscribe. We are NerdTube, the greatest YouTube channel that you kind of maybe sort of heard